Senator Schumer contacted my staff, my senior staff. He's going to make that speech, and I'm not going to elaborate on the speech. He made a good speech, and I think he expressed a serious concern, shared not only by him but by many Americans.
Just remarkable when you consider everything at play here. Chuck Schumer's Jewish, by the way. He criticized Israel in that speech and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on the Senate floor last week. Then Joe Biden doubled down. When questioned about Schumer's comments, he backed him up and said it was a good speech. Yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu spoke with Senate Republicans, and House Speaker Mike Johnson invited him to address the House next week. For more on all this, let's bring in senior White House advisor and founding board member of the EU-US Forum, Matt Mowers, and retired Air Force Brigadier General, Newsmax contributor Blaine Holt. Gentlemen, great to have you both on. General, I'm wondering what you make of the power play there from House Speaker Mike Johnson, inviting Netanyahu to address Congress. Don't forget, President Zelensky was invited by Democrats back in 2022, and he addressed Congress.
Sure. Good morning to you both. I think that the president and Senator Schumer should count the stars on our flag. There's actually not 51 of them. And to put yourself in the middle of politics of one of your closest allies at a time when our ally needs us to stand by them in a time of great war where they're just on the eve of victory is just unimaginable. And so for Speaker Johnson to circle back and say, whoa, that's not fair at all. Come here and address Congress. We'll give you the pulpit to speak from. No matter what you think about Netanyahu, it's the country of Israel that is our ally. And if you want to find a way to unify Benny Gantz, Netanyahu's rival, and Netanyahu, go ahead and have the same speech that Senator Schumer had, and you'll unify Israel in a way that you can't imagine. When they win against Hamas, history and the Israelis are going to look back at this time and go, America didn't stand by us.
Yeah, and that day is coming, by the way. Matt, Democrat Hakeem Jeffries was asked about Chuck Schumer demanding new elections in Israel. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Was Schumer right to address this issue at all? Netanyahu was pretty upset that he said that a Democratic official in the United States was wading into Israel's domestic policies.
Leader Schumer, throughout his career, has been an incredibly strong supporter of the special relationship between the United States and Israel, and I believe he will continue to be moving forward. And it is unfortunate that some of my extreme MAGA Republican colleagues, once again, are trying to politicize the issue of the relationship between the United States and Israel.
All right, so Jeffries was there to clean it up, Matt. What do you make of that?
Well, look, he says he doesn't want to politicize the relationship, except Chuck Schumer did exactly that. He politicized the relationship by inserting himself and therefore the United States into the internal politics of what's happening in Israel. I mean, could you imagine if Bibi Netanyahu made similar comments about American domestic politics? The White House would be appropriately apoplectic over that. And, you compare that to the administration I served in, the Trump administration. You compare that to what President Trump had actually said at the United Nations General Assembly when he spoke about national sovereignty, when he spoke about the fact that every leader of a country has to look out for the interests of their country. And so, you talked about the fact that I was the founding member of the EU-US Forum that we just launched yesterday with a lot of Trump administration alumni. Because what we're seeing is that the same crazy policies that are being enacted in the European Union and across the world are what are infiltrating American politics right now.
Yeah.
But we have to have leaders that are looking out for America's best interests first and foremost. Chuck Schumer's inserting himself in an ally's politics is to the detriment of the relationship there.
In a big way. And General, this just shocking. The Daily Signal reporting on this yesterday. President Biden presiding over a record-breaking 11 embassy evacuations here in the U.S. Just about 30 seconds left. That's a record. Burma, Chad, Afghanistan, Haiti, Ethiopia, Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, Nigeria, and Sudan. What do you make of that? And what more proof do the American people need that Joe Biden's just not doing a good job?
There is no accountability for this national security team from Kabul to right now today. We've never been in more dangerous of a situation, more at risk of World War III. And the embassy metrics that you see there are just emblematic of the weakness, our position in the world, and the peril that we face here at home.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. Matt, good luck with the EU-US Forum. Appreciate you joining us this morning. General, we'll have you back real soon. Thank you.